Well folks, I thought I'd do a little mini tour of this smaller polytunnel that I have in my back garden, just to show you what I've got growing on. So I'll start here in this corner. I've actually figs everywhere. These are just cuttings that I have. A Peter's honey. There's a local brown turkey fig, which is since I got this cutting been chopped down. Some RDB, Greasy St. John. But in this bed I have what is a tiger nut trial. They're not doing too well. I think at the bed here it's probably dried out too much. And then the roots of this fig tree here are probably feeding into this bed, so it's probably not getting a huge amount of nutrients. I'm looking forward to harvesting these. Hopefully get something off them. Over here in this corner we have our Nana Isai mulberry, which did okay this year. Berries are pretty small. They're actually not too bad as well. I might actually just, because it's not a big producer, maybe graft something else onto it. We also have spider mites in here as well, which is a bit of a pain. This is the other Azores Dark Knot that I have in my collection, and you can see up here I pinched it down here and it grew, and it's only forming figs now, so that's not good. I did get some bribe off it, but they weren't that nice, so this is definitely getting the chop. I just haven't decided whether to pull it out of the ground completely or use it as a rootstock. We'll have to wait and see. It's my original Gerardi, which is still doing pretty well and still putting out berries as it does every year. And I have some pomegranates as well, which aren't doing fantastically well. I suspect these do much better in the ground, like the figs. I have some varieties. They're supposed to be early ripeners. I think this one's called Belbeck or Uzbek. Then we have a Michurinska 10 in this, in the middle here. We have some figs in it there, but again, it's not doing too great in terms of fig production. Certainly has quite a bit of height. I have pinched it, but just hasn't been reluctant to put out figs. In the corner here we've got LSU Champagne. I've yet to try a fig off this. Same thing, I had to pinch it to get some figs, but there's just not that many on it. So there's not a huge amount of space here, so I might have to chop these back and try something a bit more reliable. The centerpiece of this tunnel is this crazy black Madeira, which has just gone nuts. And it's absolutely rammed with figs this year. Really super productive. I have to say, more figs in it this year than previous years. Now I did pinch this, pretty much every branch I pinched. I have actually pruned out some of the thinner shoots as well that I didn't need any on. I could probably do another thinning again. I was going to cut this right back to last year, but then I had some figs that I got really late season. They fell off, and I wanted to try again to see if I could get some figs on it. So I'm going to put maybe another cover over this, maybe at the end of September, hopefully, to get some more heat into the ripening process. So hopefully they'll ripen earlier. And I have to say, they're much bigger this year than they were last year. Now that's probably just the result of the tree being a lot more mature. If they don't ripen, I have this nice structure. I'll get rid of this branch here, and I have these two limbs which will spread either way, and I'll just graft onto it some really early ripening varieties. This is my King White mulberry. I'm not that impressed with the King Whites this year. They do take their sweet time to ripen the berries. They put out a nice flush at the beginning of the season, but then they take forever to ripen, and they don't necessarily ripen completely at once. And I mean that in terms of the berry. So you'd have a long berry, and then maybe down at the end of it you'd have ripen, and then slowly ripen. It's the entire length of the berry, but then by the time the entire berries ripened, this end is kind of almost overripe and has begun to go off. So jury's still out on this one, although there is a friend of mine that I gave one plant to, and he pruned his about a month ago, and he has now another flush of berries coming out, so I'll have to wait and see how they turn out. I have just loads of mulberry cuttings and more pomegranates in there, but and some more fig cuttings in there. So that's it, really. Pretty small. I used to have this full of veg, but now the figs have taken over. I do have to do something with the figs in here, because they're, the exception of the black Madeira, these are just not that productive, and I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe I should prune them harder, or maybe just the heat or lack of heat compared to the other tunnel. But that's how she's looking at the moment, and sure, if I get any of these black Madeiras to ripen, I shall certainly do a video on it.